All right. Well, hey, Laura, thanks for joining me today. How are
Hey,
you?
yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I am good. I provided my fake fireplace for your
Very nice.
viewing pleasure.
Very nice.
I appreciate you coming on this call today. I wanted to just take some time to introduce you to everybody. And the thing about Laura's story is she's got a couple of unique factors for her story. But she did not have a whole lot of support at home, which is more typical. I think that husbands watch their wives try diet after diet after diet after diet. So, like, oh gosh, this is just another thing she's going to throw her money at. She also has been one of the clients that has been like a slow, steady loser, which that sounds terrible. But
It's
someone
true.
who is losing weight really steadily along the way. That is more typical of women who are walking through gradual weight gain, which is what happened with her. So she's had this low, slow gain over a period of a decade. At what point in time did you know that you wanted to make a change?
When I got to my heaviest, I hated that I let my weight limit me. So, the ladies at my church would say, we want to go do a hike. And I'm like, I don't know if I can hike that far. And then even just like looking at a chair and be like, can I fit in that chair? Is that chair going to break if I sit in it? Like I found myself avoiding situations because of my weight. You don't feel good about yourself when your weight is like your first thing in mind anytime something else. When I noticed that shift, that was when I was like, I can't do this forever.
Yeah.
Because I had kind of given up and said, oh, well, this is just what I am, but I didn't like it. I started your yoga in 2020 because they were virtual.
Oh,
Because
right. I remember that. Okay.
I love the idea of yoga. I wanted to do yoga, but again, I questioned what my body would be able to do, and I didn't want to be embarrassed by not being able to do the things in class. And so by doing it virtually, it's like I kind of did it in private, but with everybody, so nobody could see the struggle. You really had to talk me into that challenge.
I did. I did. It didn't take that much. You were easily persuaded.
I was kind of ready. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she was ready to go because
Yeah.
you can kind of tell. It's rare that I will reach out to somebody and be like, "Listen, you need me." What I wanted to ask you about is what are some of the challenges that you have faced along the way?
So one of my challenges was I was the typical, eat less. So two things that came up that were kind of eye openers for me was the eating out once a week. And I was like, well, she said I can have a cheat day. I can have a cheat day, and then you were like, not once a week. That's why you're stuck. No, you just teaching me like why it is that I needed to think about what I was eating, when I was eating it, and to understand that process. And another big block for me was, like I said, I was worried about not being able to do the exercises. So the fact that you offer modifications, I never feel shamed or called out. Like it's just, if you can't do this, then do that. And then I can just make that decision for myself.
Mm-hmm. Honor your
And
body.
then you're always available if I have a question about a modification.
Yes.
I think just having that accountability, and you kind of know when to push me, when to be like, hey, you've been doing that modification for a while. You probably could do this modification now. And I didn't realize that I was strong enough to change things up.
Nice.
So you kind of keep me moving forward. I think the biggest thing is learning about my body and food. I didn't realize how much that was holding me back. Because, I'd always been able to just limit what I eat and then I'd lose some weight and it'd be great. And then I started gaining weight faster and that didn't work anymore. And it was because my body changed. So I needed to change. You can't go back to what worked before because your body may not be the same 5 years later.
It's almost a grief process with that, because I literally have to grieve who you were, and then accept the fact that you cannot ever be that way again. So there's many times, like on my YouTube channel, I'll have girls comment and be like, yeah, you can lose weight skipping meals. I'll be like, how old are you? 27. Yeah, when I was 27, I could.
Yeah.
I totally could.
Yeah.
When
Now your
you're
body's like,
47,
my soul into everything. She's starving.
you're 47, you have to eat food to lose weight. It doesn't work like that anymore.
Yeah. So it's really an everyday decision. Even though I've kind of gotten into a routine, it's still an everyday choice. I love my alone downtime. I'm drinking coffee and eating breakfast. But instead I get dressed, I take the kids to school, I get 1 cup of coffee in, and then I go exercise. And that I just have made that in my mind, it's non-negotiable. It's like that this is set aside for this. And it's going to make me feel better than if I stayed home and sat on the couch. And then it's harder the next day. Like, even if I'm like, I'm going to do it since I skipped yesterday, I'm going to absolutely do it. And then you go to do it and you're like, wow, I was a lot more stiff because I didn't do anything yesterday. Before I started, I had gotten to where I was one of those people who was holding on death grip to the stair rail to go up the stairs. Like, it took both hands to pull myself up. And it was really hard to carry groceries up the stairs. So now I can carry, 2 handfuls of groceries up the stairs. I was very insecure walking on uneven surfaces. I didn't like to walk in the grass. I didn't like to walk in the uneven surfaces. I didn't want to walk my dog in the yard. I wanted her to go out and do her thing, and I'll stand on the deck where it's flat. And now I feel confident enough that I can maintain my balance and I can walk through the yard.
You're not super old. Tell everybody how old you are.
No, I'm 42.
42. And so 42, there's a lot of other 42-year-old women out there that feel that way, that feel like their quality of life has been taken away from them.
Yeah.
Simple
I
things
never
like walking
expected to
across
feel
the
that
yard.
way at 42.
No, and I think there's a lot of women out there that feel the same way as you, Laura. I mean, I think that's more common than not.
In my head, I would say, you tell your patients not to do this. And I'm like, and now I see why it's so hard for them not to do it.
Exactly. It's like it's eye-opening, because at 42,
yeah,
that's still a very young age. You know, if you could give some advice with other women starting their weight loss journey, what would you tell them based on your own experience?
I would say that if you feel stuck when it comes to weight loss, or you feel limited by your body, that you should reach out. Find somebody who can help you, because you need to try something different. What you're doing isn't working. What you've done in the past isn't working. You need to try something new, so you have to learn something new. So find somebody who knows.
Can help you, just help you move along.
Yeah.
Even I do that. So I always keep a coach. I love having a coach. It changes my life. So I have a coach. His name is Coach T. Okay. So if you could highlight just kind of one achievement or one milestone in your weight loss journey that you're really proud of, what would that be? Will you share that with us?
I am proud that my husband can see the difference, and that he makes comments of, oh, I can see that this has changed on your body, or I notice your jeans are fitting differently. And I appreciate that he'll say those things to me, but I also know he's being honest. Like, he really does see these things.
Yeah, because he definitely was not on board with this. He really thought the wackiest thing to make you eat food.
He still kind of thinks it's weird. But
he's very supportive though now.
He is. Now. And he has a knack to say it when I need to hear it too.
Good for him. That's why you guys are married so long. How much weight? Tell everybody how much weight you've lost.
I've lost 24 pounds.
So she's lost a total of almost 16 inches, just under 16 inches of her overall. The thing about when you gain low and slow, it's that thick visceral fat, and it's really hard to get rid of. So like if you imagine like a candle melting, it's like the very bottom of the candle. It's not going to be that top layer. It just takes a long time to get rid of that. She's had the low, slow success, but the good part about it, would you say this is permanent?
Yes.
Tell people why you would say that.
Because I know how to eat now, and I better know my body and what it needs. And I feel like I've made permanent changes to my diet and my lifestyle, and I don't see any reason to go back.
I felt like I wanted to tell Laura's story because this is more common than sometimes I'll get a client and they just bam, 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 bam. They just lose weight so fast. Everybody has different levels of metabolism. Everybody has different learning abilities. And so sometimes it takes a little bit longer, and that happens more common than the fast ones do. And so the steady clientele, the ones that are going to hang in there and know that, if I'm telling you something sustainable, that means for life. Mm-hmm. So now you and I are making a forever commitment together, and I'm just part of that journey. So with Laura, it was no different. It was like even if we just lose a pound a month, that's a pound that's gone that wasn't there. She's lost 10 pounds total of fat in that weight loss. And so that's the size of 10 really large grapefruits that have come off of her body.
My shirt size is 3 sizes smaller.
Mm-hmm.
And
which is awesome.
Yeah. And then my pants, well, like jeans are a whole nother monster. But like even the leggings that I wear are 2 sizes smaller.
Well, Laura, I really appreciate you as a client. I really appreciate you coming on here because I want women to know that even if you are having slow success, it's still tremendous success because the milestones along the way, those little bitty wins are huge as long as you allow them to compile. If you don't quit, and if you just choose, maybe this time just don't quit, right? That's the thing. Like, I'm going to just choose not to quit. Well, girl, I appreciate you so much. I love being your coach. She's also just a great client, and she's had to fight for it. And I think more of you are a lot like Laura than you are different. And so just everybody give her some love and celebrate. If you are watching this on a replay, which obviously is going to be everybody, but #replay. And Laura, thank you so much for taking the time to spend with me this afternoon.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, it was fun.